Okay. Should be live now. Let's see. Yep. There we are. Very good. Very good. So, yeah, today was my birthday. 44 years. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Kind of wild when you get to that point. You don't really care all that much, because you've already done it many times. But it was a good day. As you can see, hair is chopped off. Decided to refresh things. Started new for a new year of birth, I suppose you could say. Because this is the first day of that, of being 44. So, good times indeed. Good times indeed. So, just kind of chill for a little bit before we get started. Have me a little liquid refreshment. Truly strawberry lemonade. This is a hard seltzer, 5% ABV. Some people will say APV, which is not accurate because ABV is alcohol by volume. It's light and refreshing. I'm not much of a seltzer guy, but this is an exception. This is actually one that I like a lot because it has a pretty good taste, but it's not like overpowering. It's not like sugary or anything like that. It's just enough to make it pleasant to drink. And so, yeah, I appreciate anybody that stops in tonight. And if you don't get a chance, I still appreciate you because you're a viewer of the channel, I assume. And this wouldn't be possible. Hey, we do have somebody here. Let's see if my text chat is actually working right. I don't know. Let me switch to a different screen entirely. I'm just curious if that will work. It's not showing up the stream chat in the Streamlabs chat. That's kind of weird. Oh, there we go. Albo Army Q2F. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. I guess it is working. Which input was that, though, that did that? Need to figure that out. Where is it? It's got to be above the webcam, I assume. Let me see if I can just click on the actual input. And it'll tell me which one it is. Let's try that real quick. No, that's not what I want to look at. Trying to get this sorted out. Oh, I guess it is display capture 3. Okay. Well, that's cool. Let me go ahead and adjust that. I'm going to add that to this other window here so that I can add that chat. Oh, I still have, the chat box. Yeah, that's what that is. Okay, cool. Actually, that'll probably be okay because I think that disappears after a while. So yeah, welcome. Also, Metal Torso, his didn't pop up. Thank you very much for the happy birthday wishes. Just kind of gonna chill a little bit tonight. We might do some gaming. I don't know. I was actually thinking if I was to end up doing that, I kind of wanted to do something that people could kind of participate in a little bit themselves. I do have this game. It's called Use Your Words. I actually have the sequel installed right now. And it's kind of like a little party game, similar to Jackbox or something like that, where it'll play like little clips from like movies or TV commercials or that kind of thing. And you basically kind of do like an ad lib on that. It's kind of like a Mad Lib kind of thing. It's a pretty interesting game. It's really fun, especially if you get some nice witty comments. Then people like vote on their favorite of the ones that isn't their comment. And, you kind of build up a score and stuff like that. So, allegedly whoever gets the most votes has the funniest comment, but sometimes it's not the case. But I guess humor is subjective, so. Yep. But yeah, I do appreciate Albo saying happy birthday, even though he does like to tag me in a lot of videos for some reason, even though I don't ever talk about him or nothing like that, but it is what it is. People are free to do what they want in this country, at least for the time being. You know, for the time being. Hopefully it remains that way. Just saying. But I don't want to make this a political discussion or nothing like that. This is just kind of a chill little thing. So, just want to say, first of all, as someone who is at the age of 44, I feel like I'm already at a point in my life where I feel like I've probably already lived more than half my life at this point. So we're definitely in the second half. I don't see myself being the kind of person that's going to live to be 100 or something like that. That's actually quite an accomplishment for somebody to do that. And I don't know if I'd want to live that long, honestly. There's people that talk about they want to live forever. You got the people trying to chase the fountain of youth and all this good stuff. And it seems like that would be kind of a miserable experience to have if you were to be able to successfully do that, because everybody else that you would care about would die before you, and then it gets very difficult sometimes to have new friends and family and stuff like that at that point, so that could be a huge challenge. And that doesn't seem like a good existence. Maybe that's why humans are designed the way they are. Whether you figure that's by God or by nature or whatever, it's just, it is what it is, I guess. So you might as well enjoy the time that you do have, because it could be very fleeting, I suppose. But I do want to actually show, let's see, is it the right window? Yes, it is. I was going to just maybe check out some YouTube here. I was actually just watching a music video for Dogstar. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that band. I'm not going to play it because obviously it's copyrighted or whatever. But it's actually the band that Keanu Reeves is in. He plays the bass in it. And pretty interesting stuff. It's kind of like just a simple, like, alternative rock kind of music. This particular song, All In Now, it sounded similar to something like Queens of the Stone Age. So it definitely had kind of like more of a retro sound. It's pretty good. Pretty good. And, I guess when you get to be someone like Keanu Reeves, being world famous and having like millions of dollars and all this good stuff, and then you're in this band that hardly anybody's heard of. Like, I mean, obviously people have heard of Dogstar, but like, if Keanu Reeves wasn't in that band, who knows if they would have had any success at all, right? But it's kind of cool to be able to have like an extra passion, something else to work towards. And so I do want to let you guys know I'm actually starting work on making a game of my own. I'm going to be making a roguelike game. And, I've only got things in concept right now. I haven't actually started putting things down on the computer yet. But I do have a pretty good idea of the kind of game I want to make. And I'll be starting work on that pretty soon. So I look forward to it. It's going to be heavily inspired by the Oregon Trail, which is one of my favorite classic games from back in the day. Really cool roguelike game. It's literally the first roguelike game I've ever played. People might not realize it, but I mean, it's filled with those kind of events, the random elements that roguelike games have. You have like that mix of roll the dice with kind of making your own choices and everything like that. And, I kind of want to bring my kind of spin on that experience with that, which everybody's got their own ideas. And I just kind of want to like execute that as much as possible. But I do want to say, by the way, that's not the right text. Oh, I'm not even in the right window. I was going to say that, let's just copy this text here. That if you want to, I'm going to actually hop into my Discord chat and my stream chat here. And if you want to like actually like talk with me and stuff like that through Discord, feel free to. If you check the link in the description, it's going to have my link tree And my Linktree's got links to all of my stuff, including my Discord. So that's where you would do that kind of stuff. Obviously. I don't have a lot of people in my Discord, but it's cool. I don't really care. I like to keep things kind of tight knit. And then if one day that happens to change, then that's totally okay with me. It doesn't bother me none. It's just meant to be kind of a place to hang and chill. And this assumes, of course, that Discord remains usable in its current fashion, because I'm sure a lot of you have heard that they're talking about this age verification thing they're going to be doing. And if you don't complete this age verification, they'll consider you a teenager and they'll be restricting certain things on the platform. And I'm not going to be completing any kind of like identification, like scans or anything like that. I'm not going to be providing them my driver's license or none of that stuff. So if I get flagged as a teenager on Discord, whatever that means in terms of that platform, as long as I can still use the platform in the way that I want to use it, I'm fine with that. Honestly, it is what it is. But if not, I will have to look at an alternative. I have been kind of looking at some of those things. I know I've heard some people are talking about using TeamSpeak again, which that kind of interests me because I've never really messed with TeamSpeak. I think I used it like way back in the day because it was really popular at the time that Team Fortress 2 was kind of a big deal. I guess people still play that, of course, obviously. As a matter of fact, Poker Night at the Inventory, that recently has been remastered on Steam. I'm going to bring my Steam window over here. And it's actually like one of the top sellers on Steam right now, which kind of blew my mind because when I saw this, I was like, what? Was there like some kind of weird sale or something like that? Yeah, it's in the top 10. It was like number 3 at some point. But this was a really interesting game made by Telltale Games originally that had all these different characters. You had Strong Bad, you had the heavy dude from Team Fortress 2, you have Tycho, and then forget what the freaking rabbit's name is. It's not exactly, I don't remember, honestly, but I recognize the rabbits. Seriously, I remember seeing that rabbit before. And wait. Well, yeah, because I had the original version of this game. I also had Poker Night in Inventory 2, which had a different cast of characters. Like it had Claptrap, it had Ash from Evil Dead, it had Sam. Wait, would that be Max? Yeah, it's Sam and Max. So you had Max in the first game, you had Sam in the second game, the dog character. And trying to think of who else was in the second game. But yeah, they just recently did a remaster, I guess, of this game. And, I was kind of debating, should I get this? But anyways, the reason why I was bringing that up is because apparently they're reassigning this Team Fortress 2 hat right here, this dealer's visor that I guess they stopped issuing because of the fact that, Team Fortress, or not Team Fortress, but they pulled the game off the market and that was like a limited time deal, but they're re-bringing that back. That probably helped the sales, obviously, all the Team Fortress people that missed out on this hat and they're all about the hats. They bought the game so they can get the hat, I would assume, but still, it's pretty cool that they brought that back. It was a really fun little games, just quick, easy, fun little games. I'm not sure if. Yeah, I never played the original one. I remember I got that. I wanted Poker Night 2. That was the one I was talking about because I was a little more interested in that cast of characters. Oh, Brock. Yes, Brock from freaking Venture Brothers. That, yeah, between him and Ash, I was like, yes, this is the one I definitely want to play. Claptrap is all right, I guess. Sam's cool. I'm not a huge fan of like the Borderlands games, but Claptrap's all right, I guess. But yeah, those were really cool little games to play and just kind of chill too. Those are really fun little games to play. So we had 5 people watching and y'all are really quiet. and that's cool if you just like the sound of my voice and it soothes you, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I promise I'm not drunk. I literally have drank maybe 3 ounces of this, if that. I barely touched it. I'm just got kind of a weird social quirk to myself. You know what I mean? I'm just talking to myself, essentially. And I guess that's kind of the case. I'm not the best at talking to myself, even though I do it quite a lot here on YouTube. I've been doing it for like 17 years. The first year or so of YouTube, I don't think I had any kind of microphone content at all. I just uploaded a few gameplay clips. Those are long gone now. The very first YouTube video, as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and pull that up. Let's go to the channel here. Done a commentary on this before. So, back in the day, there was a little game on the PC. It was called The Movies. And it was a simulation game, kind of like something like SimCity or something like that. But instead, you ran a movie studio. How's it going, Potion? Yeah, no kidding, man. Birthday haircut. I got the Chris Redfield, that nice little short haircut because I've been playing Resident Evil. That's not why I got the specific haircut. I just needed to start fresh, essentially, brand new. Obviously trim the beard as well. Try to make that look nice, even though it looks super patchy because of the shadow there, but it's not actually. See, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and check this little video out. This was something I made in the movies back in the day. I really wish that they would bring back the movies, the computer game from back in the day. Like, it doesn't have to be a remaster necessarily, just anything. Just bring it back. Let us do these fun little machinima things again, because that was the coolest part of this game. Like the management stuff and whatnot, it was okay. It was middle tier, middle of the road. But what was really cool was that whenever you were running this movie studio, you would have to make movies in the game, and you would piece these clips together from different types of scene options. You had different actors, and you can change the props and backgrounds and all this other good stuff. And, you're able to introduce special effects and sound effects and everything like that to piece these movies together. It was just really fun to mess around with that. And they actually had their own website. I don't know if YouTube was around at the time that this game came out or not, or what, but you were able to essentially build your clips out together, upload it to their website, and then people could rate them and comment on them and stuff like that. So it was kind of like a version of YouTube, but it was just specifically for these video clips. So we're going to go ahead and play this little video. This was a spoof of The Legend of Zelda that I did. So I did all the voiceovers except for the very first voiceover that you're going to hear, who also voices the spoof Link character. So I did all the other voices poorly, of course, because that's how I do voice acting. But here we go.
This is a test of my voice. My voice is sexy.
No.
Zing. Awaken for your destiny has come. Take a look at your destiny, Zing. Alright, cut it out. I had to slap you. Now pay attention. Look into my eyes, Zing, for the answer you seek. This is Carbondorf, building block of the sixth element of the periodic table. You can learn something just by watching him. Anyway, he has tapped into a great power. The power of the Tridor.
Wait Wait a second. To me, that looks more like nuclear symbol. Nuclear symbol.
Get out of your clown shoes, Zink, for today is the day of your reckoning. Your quest is at hand for your name in history. Element 30.
Ugh, another bad dream. Another hangover. Yeah, I used to ride a horse, but...
Zink, have you come to fulfill your destiny?
Yeah, that hot wench told me about this place.
Here is a sword that you will need to fight evil, but it may not be enough to face Carbon Dwarf. If he morphs his isotopes to full elemental form, you will need the Master Sword for that.
Why do I always start with crappy swords?
Yes, officer, he was here earlier. He was wearing a green shirt, green shoes, brown tunic, driving a red PT. He just went crazy when I gave him that sword.
Zink, you have come. You must tell me, have you unlocked the secret of the Master Sword?
Heroes keep their game genies handy.
Time for you to die, hero.
No, it's Carbon Dwarf. Lead is element 82, by the way.
It's only a matter of time before I transform. Oh, the transformation is done. Fool of Zink, did you really think you could beat Carbon? Not a chance. Crack open another light, for your time is at hand.
Zink, wake up. Use a silver bullet.
How did you fit a Coors Light in here?
Yeah, Transformation complete, you know, Super Saiyan and all that good jazz, Yeah, anyway, I gotta go, that little twerp thinks he's out of chance. I'm gonna go waste him, take over the world. Later, honey.
Never, Carbon. Good will always prevail.
No!
Now's a good time to get out of here. Thanks, Zink.
Hey, I heard some gunfire. You think that PT's red?
No, it's orange. Let's head towards that gunfire.
This figures. I saved the day and what happens? Right, instead of getting the girl, she runs off with my car! And now I'm stuck with this stupid horse. Oh, game over, man. Game over! So yeah, that's how I got here. What's your story, Squeegee?
Well, it started when me and Marty was saving Princess.
Zink was voiced by Kawhi Arch, and I voiced every other voice. Please visit Down Phoenix Studios on TMO.
See, that was so crazy. I think I last watched that about 7 years ago or something like that. I did like a kind of like a little channel thing. I don't know, but yeah, the whole like thing with the PT Cruiser was because they were doing a contest at that time on the site, and you had to submit a movie that was like 4 minutes or less that included a PT Cruiser. And I think I did end up making some edits to the video and cut out that part with the text or whatever with the PT Cruiser. But that was like the original cut of the video. I lost the later cut that I did that was a little bit shorter. And I think it had like, I think it cut out like one scene entirely, but it added another scene that was shorter. I don't know. It was kind of weird, but yeah, that was one of the videos that I did. And the music custom, that was because I did the music. I just used like this program. I forgot which one it even was. And I also did a Counter-Strike parody too, which was, this one was a lot of fun actually. Oh, and you'll notice where it says Ultimate Destiny Production, that was because I used to be a member of a website called Ultimate Destiny. And it was funny because if you searched Ultimate Destiny on Google, our website would come up with another site, which was called Ultimate Destiny's Child. So, like, I don't know. I guess it's possible there could be Destiny's Child's fans in our site, but I don't think that was the case. But it's just kind of funny that the search algorithm worked that way.
Hey there, guys. Ready for the match? Almost. We need to change our equipment first. What do you suggest we change it to, Negro?
Skeet, skeet. M68 tools will have the advantage in mid-range.
Jihad, Durka Mukalaka. Durka Durka Beefcake. Beefcake, Beefcake, noob. AK, AK. Shut the F up, noobit. I'm gonna pawn those counter-terrorist butt wipes. Looky here, it's the CT captain, Mr. Auto Aimer. Your hacks will be no match. Yo, Spanks, how about you give him a warm welcome?
We rule these nuts here, bitch!
We're gonna take you down fair and square.
You know, they say that Jihad Commander use hacks. Well, Jihad Commander ain't no match for Sergeant Negro.
Rob and be jet. Ballhead, flank his position. Me and Negro will cover you. Come on, Lieutenant Tracer. What the fuck? You shoot through the wall. Pepper gunner down. Watch your back, Bullhead! Bullhead, damn it, you're such a noob!
Sure is quiet here.
Frog Hat Man, shoot the sniper on the roof!
I am too awesome.
Damn, man, it's GR Commander. We give up. We're disconnected.
Shoot! Out of ammo! Out of ammo! Crap! Should've bought more.
Don't rush him, Negro. He's a hackser. Skeet, skeet, no hacks ever stopped me. Damn it, Negro, now it's up to me.
Activate self-propelling grenade hacks.
Take that, Jihad Commander.
No! Cheats!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Terrorist win.
I'd like to thank everyone for watching Counter Terrorist. Please visit Down Phoenix Studios on TMO.
Yeah. Definitely some poor editing on that. You probably heard a cough at the very end there. I don't know what I was thinking with that, honestly, because nowadays, obviously, I would just record the clip, but I just really didn't know what I was doing with the stuff at the time. These videos were originally from 2005. And I guess I just still had the video clips and I uploaded them to YouTube. There was another one that I had here. I guess I no longer have access to that video. Maybe I deleted it. Oh, no, I have this other one that's Marching Destiny, but I'm not going to play that one just because that particular video, it was solely dedicated to that fan community that I was part of, Ultimate Destiny. And that's all that was really about. So, but yeah. So, like, nobody here would get any kind of reference at all, because obviously Zelda, everybody loves Zelda, right? And then Counter-Strike. I used to be a huge fan of Counter-Strike, so that's why I did the parody of that. That was kind of like a mix, like that first portion of the video is kind of like the pre-game lobby, everybody kind of bullshitting and whatever. And that was like what that was supposed to mimic, of course. So, but yeah. And then I started getting to Let's Plays because that was kind of the thing I redid some of the thumbnails and whatever, you know, because a while back I thought, hey, you know, I can make thumbnails, you know, like that are cool. Like later on, maybe refresh some of the old videos. But, you know, I, of course, didn't really have any videos that were like huge hits for like a long time. Although I did, for a brief time, have like the only Let's Play of Alien Hominid HD on YouTube. So I got some pretty decent views off of that. There's been several since, obviously, but I did a Let's Play of every stage and whatnot there. That was the very first time that I did a vlog where I basically did a rant about Sierra being bought by Activision, I think it was. Or I think they might have already bought them. I don't know. I forget what the case was, but I think it was Vivendi Universal that owned Sierra and Blizzard. And they basically just totally gutted Sierra when they did that. They kept Blizzard going as is, of course. So that was my rant that I did about that, with all the crap in the background and everything like that. Just complete crap. Then, of course, did some Skype commentaries, you know, kept doing the Let's Plays and all that good stuff. Did a Let's Play of Bobby's World. That was an unreleased Super Nintendo game. It was actually kind of fun. And then this was like my biggest Let's Play project I ever did, which was the Let's Play of the original Fallout. During this era of YouTube, the maximum video length was like 10 minutes, I think. At least for most people. There might have been some exceptions. You know, like it let you go a little over 10 minutes. As you'll see, I got some that were like 10 minutes and 30 seconds. But you had to be very mindful about those lengths. So whenever I did the Let's Play, I actually would film like for an hour or so worth of gameplay. And I would just splice them up and then upload them as I went. You know, that way I was able to stay within those time frames. Of course, nowadays on YouTube, you can have a video that's pretty much as long as you want it to be. Of course, you know, there's not really a limitation like there used to be on that. And so, you know, that's not really a problem anymore, obviously. But it is pretty cool that, you know, we still got all that going on here. Trying to find something. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure on that. All right, cool. So, I don't know, maybe I'll pop in a quick little game or something. I feel like just kind of chilling with some VG. Let's play a quick round of Bollocks Pit, I think. That's something I definitely would love to play right now. So let's go ahead and pop that in. Just play a quick round. Okay. Yeah, turn the old controller on there. Launch the game. And then I'll just have to switch the input for the game capture here. There it is. All right, cool. Yeah, if you never played Bollocks Pit, this game is a hell of a game. For sure. So, when you start the game, you have like this little screen right here where you can manage your town and stuff like that. And you can harvest your resources and all that good stuff. And this resource minigame is really cool. It's kind of like a little pinball game. We'll go ahead and just do our quick resource harvesting. Okay, and I'll speed it up. And they'll just kind of like bounce around there and hit different resources and stuff like that and to collect them. And you'll see like how it accumulates up on the top there. You need those resources to buy items and, you know, buy buildings and stuff like that. So I'll go and play a quick round here. Who we got that the game recommends we try? Let's see. I guess we could try the Shield Bearer. I like his gameplay, actually. Wait, did he beat that one yet or not? Let me check. Because I want to try to beat one that... Yeah, so he hasn't beat that one yet. So yeah, we'll do the Fungal Forest. This was the game I was telling Cyrus. Like, this is like the best shmup game I ever played. Even though this game doesn't look like a shmup at all. I will explain. So... On the onset, this game basically looks like it's a clone of Breakout or Arkanoid. And that is kind of what it is. And actually, this playing as a shield bearer doesn't dispel that notion at all because of the fact that he literally has a giant paddle. He uses a shield to reflect the balls back. That's his unique playstyle, as opposed to what I'm doing here. But yeah, it's really cool. And then you get these different upgrades when you collect experience points so that you can... yeah, let's go ahead and get that. Sounds good. But the thing that makes a shield breaker great is the fact that whenever you deflect the balls off his paddle, like, it'll actually increase the strength of it. It's actually really useful when that happens. So you want to ideally do that as much as possible, because everybody else doesn't do that. They catch their balls instead. And then just throw them back out. That doesn't synergize, so we'll just, yeah, we'll get that instead. I do have an evolution, yep. Make the bomb ball, hell yeah. I mean, obviously you don't have to catch you don't have to bounce the balls back, but they're the most effective with this particular character if you do bounce them. Each time, oh, okay. That sounds pretty useful. Especially since I'm going to be using the wall a lot, this particular build. Okay. That doesn't... I'm trying to get something that goes with the brood. Yeah, we'll do the stone effigy. That sounds cool. A crappy upgrade on that. Yeah, this is the kind of game that you can play and you can just keep on playing. It lets you just completely zone out. And that's what I really love about Bollock's Pit. You just focus on the balls. It's as simple as that. So you get a couple of like sub-bosses in a stage that you can take out. There we go. Let's do that instead. Yeah, none of these synergize with the freaking brood jewelry roll. Yeah, it still ain't gonna give me nothing, is it? There we go. Oh no, we don't do the fusion yet. I try to say the fusions until I have evolved ones and then just fuse them together. That makes a lot of sense to do that. Okay. Yeah, those fuse together, but... we'll do the stone. Yep. So now we'll fuse the maggot and the bomb ball, and that's going to be a pretty powerful ball. Once I get that leveled up, of course. Yeah, it just gets insane and hectic. Like, you see all of the activity on the screen, and it's absolutely freaking nuts. It's really hard to keep up with this sometimes, you know? Okay. Yeah, we'll do this so we can get a brimstone. Sounds good. Oh, darn it. Oh, yeah, those shots he shoots out, they'll slow me down whenever they hit me, so I'll try to avoid those, of course. Yeah. Level that up. Got a pretty powerful setup here, so that shouldn't be no problem for us. Do a reroll. Yeah, we'll do a bleed ball instead. That'll do DPS over time. I'm taking a little bit of damage. I need to watch my health. Yeah, you definitely have to keep an eye on, like, the zone of control between yourself and the enemies, because they, you know, you're always slowly moving towards them. And so you have to be careful with that progression. Okay, so we got a brimstone ball now. That'll be very nice. Yeah, do another one of those. Now we're just absolutely wrecking them at this point. Like, I've got so much damage, like, that's just tearing through them. It's really hard to get a field clear at the late end of a round like that. See the... Oh, I was like, I wonder, does a brimstone actually go through objects, or... Yeah. I do have to watch out for the zone of control here, because I'm not getting a lot of bounce back here. There we go. Does that synergize? Yes. Grab that then. Yeah, you don't have to do the synergies, but that gives you the best balls. That's what you got to do if you want to get, like, the absolute best builds. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll have the brimstone. I wish I would have got some speed upgrades. It would make it easier to bounce back those other balls. Okay, looks like we're not going to get the third evolution ball. I'm probably not going to see another upgrade for that before the boss. Which, that's okay. You can I want to say there is like a run where you can kind of like continue on afterwards. You just want to kind of like do that, but since you can't really go past level 3, at least from what I understand, like it doesn't make a lot of sense to do that. Unless you just kind of want to see how long you can last, I suppose. Yeah, this boss is actually one of the easiest bosses, so... Well, at least you got 4 fully maxed out balls. Oh, darn it, I missed it. So you got some bullet hell action there. That's why I call it a shmup. Yeah, this is not a simple ball and paddle game, for sure. Alright, we leveled up his housing ability. Bouncing on this building applies 3 build points to all nearby scaffoldings. Yep. Alright, cool. I think I've already have all the blueprints in that particular area. I'm not sure. I guess we'll see. Let's see here. Yeah, I didn't get anything new. Well, we can do another harvest. I'm just gonna shoot another quick one like that. Before. Honestly, I've got enough resources built up that I'm not really too concerned if I get everything. Yeah, I didn't get very much at all, so that's okay. Yeah, the cohabitants, they're fun to play with. I like them. You can, of course, actually bring a second character as well, which I'll demonstrate that real quick. I'm not sure exactly how that works with the cohabitants, but I guess we'll see. He's a really weird character to play as. They have kind of similar things, so that actually kind of makes sense to do that. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see which ones they've beaten. Let's see. Wait, where was that character even at? Oh, yeah, right there. So he hasn't beat the Ice World yet. That's okay. Wonder why he's not selectable there. Maybe certain characters cannot work together. Okay. Yeah, we'll just do Snowy Shores just because that character hasn't beat it yet. Kind of makes sense to and just to demonstrate this other gameplay element. So actually we'll have 3 balls to start with because of the way it's set up. But I think the Egg Sac and Brute Mother actually, Mother, they actually synergize together, so I'm going to choose a different one entirely. Try to level that up. Yeah, we'll do that. So that gives them the chance to shoot all of their ball options, which is really cool. So I am just right off the gate just shooting shit ton of balls. So if I get anything that level up my baby balls, that will be very nice. Yeah, we'll get that so we can synergize that poison eventually. Now the downside of doing the 2-character thing is it does make you a bigger target to hit, so it's easier to take damage potentially. Yeah, the balls will just bounce around in these normal characters. Look at do evolution there. Yep. They make the spider ball. Spider Queen. Yep. That's a pretty good one. Yeah, let's level that up more. Yeah, it's just absolutely fucking nuts seeing, like, how fast these balls are spitting out. This is an excellent game to play in above 60 frames. I'm only capturing at 60 right now. But, like, if you have, like, a really high refresh rate monitor, you can really appreciate the smoothness of the action for those balls. It's fantastic. Oh, shit. Increase the fire rate by 15%. Shit. As if we need more of that. Hell yeah, though. Sounds perfect. Yeah. Just absolutely wrecking. Completely melting these freaking, I guess they're structures? I don't know. Hard to define them as enemies because they just sit there. Every once in a while they'll shoot something at you, but that's about it. Yeah, this is just absolute madness. This is probably like trip up anybody that's got epilepsy, so my apologies if that happens to you, but I'm also not held responsible. Because, you know, they always play those epilepsy warnings before the beginning of like a video game. Just assume if you're watching a gaming channel that is applicable for you also. Yeah, sure, why not? We got plenty of baby balls, so that kind of makes sense actually. Like to, oh darn it. I was trying to save that up for another evolution, but it didn't work out. Okay. What's tricksy about this guy is that he likes to do this. So you have to use the right analog stick to actually adjust the angle that the balls go through. We're trying to hit him and then do as much damage in the back end as possible as well. So we're getting a lot of numbers, but we're not getting a lot of damage per number. Like, it's definitely a lot lower than I would like on that. What's up, Lechezel? Thank you very much for that. Let's see here. Yeah, that'll be perfect to go with that. Well, actually, maybe not. But I guess nothing's wrong with the ice ball. It's pretty good. Son of a bitch. I just want something that does, like, the buff with the baby ball damage. That's all we need here. Okay, he's dead. Yeah, let's boost it up to a full 1%. Yeah, let's boost that. Finally getting that evolution there. Yeah, having 2 fully evolved bulbs after the first boss ain't too bad at all. Yeah, we'll do the ghost ball. That's perfect. Eventually, I will have to grab it because I'll lose it if I don't use it. Sure. That's extra damage, I suppose. It's not the one I wanted. I want the one that boosted the baby ball damage, but this'll do. Not gonna have enough, unfortunately, to level that up entirely, so just go ahead and grab the fusion, or fission rather. Okay, it's gonna be powerful enough at least. Oh, what is up, Cyrus? Are you guys done now? I'm in the Discord, by the way, if you guys want to stop in. Linktree has my links, has a link to my Discord. If you want to pop in on the microphone, say hi. If not, that's fine, obviously. You do what you want, right? That's how it works. Let's get another evolution here. Yeah, perfect. What? What? Did he really? Oh, son of a bitch. Look at that. All these people that I'd never even heard of got gift memberships. Booker TX6, Alec KHS, Call Me Astro 2111, Taladia Plays. Now, I know Taladia Plays. I haven't seen him in a while. I'll have to see what's up. Latina Gaming 88, Brian Trusty Channel. That one sounds familiar too. I recognize the avatar actually, so I might have watched him before. Artesk, Alice Store 923, KM47, and 3 Free Willy. That is a huge props to the Cyrus Martin, the Super Mega Graphics 64. Thank you very much, Cyrus. I appreciate that birthday gift membership. You know, actually, they're the first members my channel has ever had. So I'll have to actually produce something. I don't do like membership videos or streams. However, I do have another thing I'm going to bring up in terms of my actual memberships. That's going to be a different benefit from that kind of stuff. So earlier in the stream, I explained that I was going to go ahead and start working on a game. And the membership benefit that I was going to offer was I was going to do like behind the scenes looks at the game. Eventually, when the game became in a playable state, I was going to go ahead and let any members go ahead and play that game, test it out, you know, give their feedback or whatever. If they wish to do so, and be a part of that, and also be credited in the game's final production as well as a special thanks of some kind. I don't know if I would put them as like YouTube members, which would be kind of weird to put in a video game credit sequence, or just a special thanks. That's probably more likely. That seems more official. Let's go ahead and boost the Spider and Wraith balls together. We'll fuse those together. And thank you very much also to Super Mega Graphics 64 for being a member to the channel as well. I appreciate that, man. Hopefully you and Eugene had a good stream. I was glad I was able to get a chance to stop in myself. I wasn't sure. Yes, I am making a game. Now, I don't want to make this a big production. This is not going to be some Unreal Engine or Godot or Unity kind of project or nothing like that. This is not like a serious thing. This is me working with something that I am familiar with, which is RPG Maker. And I'm intentionally using a very old version of RPG Maker because I want a very specific retro aesthetic to this game. It's going to be a roguelike style game. It's going to be like designed in the essence of Oregon Trail, with some RPG elements, both JRPG, of course, because it's RPG Maker, but also some computer role-playing games and even tabletop elements as well. I have a lot of ideas. Now, of course, given that there's ideas, things can get cut, things can change. That's something that's very normal in the process of making a game, obviously, but I was kind of inspired. Yeah, Action Game Maker, I've seen that. I actually have another one they did called Pixel Game Maker. I messed around with that one. I didn't really get the premise behind it because I was going through the tutorial and like there's just certain elements of that didn't make sense. Like I was like, at this point, I might as well just mess with something like Unreal Engine. I was actually thinking about that or Godot, because I've heard a lot of good things about Godot, even though it's still kind of a newer thing. I've heard it's actually pretty user-friendly. But I wanted to start off with something that I'm familiar with, which is RPG Maker, because I used to make RPG Maker games back in the day as kind of like a goof-off thing mainly. It's not something that I, made anything super serious with. But this is something I do want to make that's going to be a lot more of a bigger focus thing. And given that I love roguelike games, I play them all the time, pretty much. Like, I've always got at least one roguelike game on the back burner. I'm playing Bollock's Pit. That's technically a roguelike game. So that's kind of the thing with that. So I'll have to actually put together some stuff for that soon for the channel members. But yes, thank you very much, Cyrus, for that contribution. I know I did kind of con you a little bit, but, you know, I appreciate you following through. So, not really con you, but baked, I suppose. But yeah, thank you. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and involve those. Yep. Perfect. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to actually hop over that. Yes. Yeah, for like non-channel members, I'll still do like occasional updates, and then like when the game is like available, I'll go ahead and, you know, let you know how that is. I'm not sure if I'm even going to charge for it. If I do, it'll be like a cheap game. It'll probably be like a few bucks at most, because I don't think like anything like that should cost more than $5, honestly. But, you know, I would only charge it if I thought it was actually worth at least $5. If I thought it was worth more than that, I'd probably still just charge $5, just because it's going to be like a solo project for the most part. I have been talking with a friend about doing some music for the game, potentially, just because I don't do music. Just so I can have some original music. But I'm actually going to be doing some original art for the game. And I'll probably be using some of the in-house assets that they use for RPG Maker as well. Because that's technically stuff that you can use and still make potentially a commercial game if you want to. But yeah, I'll probably do some occasional updates, but like the channel members will be the ones that'll get the more frequent updates for that. But those wouldn't really be like videos. Like, I'd be doing just some random posts and stuff like that. Showing pictures and that kind of stuff. Okay, so we got the boss here. Now, my build setup I've got right now is not really one designated for damage, but it's designated for shooting out like hundreds of balls at once, so this is like gonna be a war of attrition here for me and the boss. The idea is just to whack him with as many balls as humanly possible. Yeah, fuck it. Let's do the egg sack, which will just kind of really compound on that. Okay, it'll be a little bit tough to avoid his attack because of the double teammate mode I've got going on right now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He does that attack, of course. I am doing pretty consistent damage on him, at least, so that's pretty good. Or her. Say him. It's obviously, it says Ice Brand Queen. It's not a him. I mean, they could be, I suppose, if that's how they identify, but... yeah, I doubt this game is that serious about gender representation. Okay. Oh, that was actually pretty quick. Yeah, just the sheer volume of balls was totally enough to completely annihilate the boss. Yeah, that's awesome. So we got, yeah, the Flagellant. Yeah, Flagellant, I guess. Got him boosted up a little bit. Yep, nice. Okay. Yeah, I've also messed around with RPG Maker. The problem is I have so many ideas for different games, I never stick to one. Yeah, that is kind of the thing. It's about it, like, trying to actually maintain a focus. I'm going to go ahead and shut this game off for a second. Yeah, it's about actually trying to actually maintain a focus. And that's a thing I personally have an issue with because I struggle with that kind of stuff for sure. Yeah, let's do a copy on that. I'll paste it on here. There we go. That way I can actually show the chat. Okay, let's do this here. I'm going to lock all these others so that it doesn't try to manage this. I'm using OBS, of course, for managing the streaming stuff. And we'll just move the chat right there. Wish I could make that a little bit higher contrast for the text. I probably could do something. Let me look at the properties here. It says Force SDR. I don't think that's going to really adjust it that much. No, I guess not. That's fine. I don't know why the text appears in kind of a grayish tone when it looks white over here on the right side, but it is what it is, right? Yeah, I've messed around with a lot of RPG Maker stuff. You know, but this is one that I have a solid enough understanding of the roguelike genre, given all the ones I've played through the years, that I think this is one I can commit to. I will say this. So the idea is it's going to be a medieval setting, of course. That's kind of like the one that's most conducive to the RPG Maker engine. And the general premise of the game is your volunteers or voluntold potentially of these random characters. I'll probably let people name them or whatever, because it has like the ability to like create the names if you want for the characters, and they'll have like different classes. Now those classes are going to have like special like roles. So like there's going to be a lot of if and events, if you're familiar with those in RPG Maker, where it'll check for certain variables. And one of the things you can check for, of course, is a character class. So if the character is like, say, a thief, you can have like a chest. And if they're a thief class, they could just lockpick the chest or whatever, right? That's the kind of general premise. Otherwise, other characters may not be able to open the chest unless they can, bash it open. They can try to do that. Of course, they might risk damaging the treasure if they do that. It's going to use like a ton of variables and things like that. So that's going to be like one of the major problems. Yeah, conditional branch, I think that might be... so there is if-then events, and there's also conditional branches. Those are a couple of different setups like that. Let me turn off this chat box because that kind of is an other one there. But yeah, it's that kind of setup that I'm going to be doing. And, obviously, given the limitations of RPG Maker, I can't make things that are truly procedurally generated. Obviously, you can't do that. But I can, just put those random things in there. And one thing I wanted to do is, you have like the different lore drops and things like that in some of these games where it'll give you like hints on things. And I was thinking like that I can provide that information to the player within the game. Like what certain things will do. I'm having a hard time explaining this, but that's something that they would get on there. Hey, what is up, Tony Sloan? Which I know who you are, and I will be voting for you in the primary. And if you don't win, I will vote for whoever beats you, because we got to get rid of him. But yes, thank you very much, man. It's my birthday, just kind of chilling. I was just playing Symbolics Pit. I was just explaining about this RPG Maker game I'm be working on. And yeah, so anyways, so the premise is you're for volunteers or voluntolds, essentially. Like the king is going to be sending you out to take this magical artifact to the Sleeping Dragon's cave. And this magical artifact is going to kill the dragon. And the reason why you're doing that is because the dragon is going to be awakening. And when it awakens, the dragon is going to come and burn down the kingdom. And obviously, there's a lot more to it than that, but that's just a very basic premise that is going to be going on. And yeah, that's a very basic premise, And then, of course, if you die, instead of like a normal RPG Maker game where you would simply reload your save or game over or whatever, it's going to just basically give you 4 new characters. And it's going to kind of loop. And there's going to be like that kind of gradual progression that you typically will see in a roguelike game. And if you were to successfully win the run, there's going to be like things I'm going to introduce where you can kind of continue playing, So that's the idea. It's not going to be procedurally generated, but there is going to be a lot of randomization to mix things up and make it something that potentially if somebody enjoyed the game enough, they could play it for a long time if they wanted to. The thing is, of course, a successful roguelike game is one that, you don't want to spend a huge chunk of time on an individual playthrough. Like, it varies depending on the game, but I would say probably an hour is probably like the cutoff point that you want to typically get to. And that's kind of like more difficult for like a game that's going to be played out as an RPG. I'll have to figure out, because the Oregon Trail reference that I mentioned earlier is, it's going to have that element where you're not just going to be walking around. It's going to be doing its own wandering kind of thing. And you're going to be choosing variables like, the speed and how much food and that kind of stuff. Obviously, if you want to rest, you'll have to do that, because your characters are going to need to get rest. So yeah, there's going to be those kind of elements that's going to be involved with it. It's obviously going to be a very big project for me. But that's the game I'm working on. That's going to be what the channel members are going to have access to playtest that game. And then obviously, depending on the situation, I'll probably, any like special people out there that I think would do a good job playtesting, I'll probably invite them into that as well, to tweak that, so that's the plan. I have no idea how long this is going to take. I've never worked on like a game project like this before, so I can't make any promises, but I can tell you that is what I'm going to work on. And if for whatever reason I stop working on it, that's going to suck, for me personally, because I really want to do this. I really want to do this badly, and I'm not getting any younger, obviously. So this is the time to start. I've already started on the concepts of it. I just haven't started putting anything into practice yet. But I do know what I want to do. And that's kind of like, I guess with any kind of project, any kind of creative project, that's where you do have to start. You can't just start putting pen to paper right away. You do have to have an idea of what you want to draw. You can't just start filming with a camera right away. You have to figure out what you're going to film. You have to figure out all kinds of stuff. Obviously, writing, you have to think about the story before you start typing it, right? So that's kind of how that works. Yeah, to me, the hardest part is level design. Coming up with maps and dungeons is really difficult. Now, given the way this is going to work, this is going to be very different in that from a normal RPG Maker game, because I'm not going to have to design like 100 maps or whatever. Well, maybe I will design 100 maps, but they're not going to be like maps where you're wandering around. Like I said, the characters are going to be automatically roaming, and then you're going to have like the prompt to stop them or whatever. There may be like little tiny mini dungeons where there's going to be a tiny little bit of wandering around with the character, but that's something that's going to be reserved for special events that will occur through your travel. So, basically the idea is you'll get your characters, you'll get a pool of gold, you could buy some different types of equipment and items, and obviously food, because you're going to eat food throughout the game just like you do in Oregon Trail. And you buy your stuff, you start out on the adventure, and then probably every so often a random event will happen. That random event could be a fight, it could be like some kind of dialogue thing or whatever. You might encounter like, say, a cave, for example, and you could have the option to go into that cave to explore for loot, to help you out potentially. So that's definitely a possibility. Like that's kind of the groundwork that's going to be set for that. If your characters get injured, their HP is going to only recover if you actually like rest at camp, which you'd be able to do at any time. But you also have to consider that you're going to be on a ticking time clock as well, because there is going to be a possibility that if you don't reach the dragon in time, the dragon will awaken. And I haven't decided what I want to do with that yet. I'll know if I make that like an automatic failure and then start the new characters or whatever. But it'll be kind of a Groundhog's Day kind of thing. So it's not going to be like a normal RPG Maker game where you play it from start to finish and that's it. Like I want this to be something that can be playable as much as you want. You know, now eventually, if somebody did play it enough, maybe they'll have seen everything possible in the game, and then like there's really no reason for them to replay it, and that's fine. That is what it is. I don't know if like even my own play testing, if I would see that, even though I would know what everything is because I created it, I put it in there. But like if I did my own play testing and had like a running save going on for however long, I might not even see everything in that save. So that's kind of like the tricky thing with testing something like that as well. But, as long as I have the groundwork fundamentals down, that should ideally leave any bug issues to a minimum for something like that. So, but one thing I did want to do, because I know there is like an option to set up parallax scrolling, I wanted to actually draw out like a background, and then I was just going to do minimal tile work to give it like a little bit of a scrolling effect. I was going to maybe lay out the tiles. Like it's going to be like an Oregon Trail kind of thing. You can picture, like it's going to be a screen. There's going to be some black barricades, potentially, maybe not. But you would have like in the top of the screen, that's going to be the part that is parallax scrolling. I'd probably draw like mountains and clouds and all that kind of bullshit, whatever that would be kind of cool for it to go along as you move along slowly. And then the foreground would have like, say like you're going through a forest, you'll probably see some trees on the bottom of the screen or something like that to represent that you're going through the forest at that time. That's kind of the idea that I've got established. So I'm sure there probably have been roguelike games made in RPG Maker before, but probably not very many. I would think most people just either make a generic RPG game or they try to like make it something that it has no business doing, like to try to make like an action game or something like that, or a platformer, which I always respect their efforts on that. But yeah, that's kind of what's up with that. I think I will go ahead and take a short little break here, guys, because I need to use the restroom. So I will be right back. Let me switch over to one of these windows here. I thought I had a text. Let's see what this one says. Is there like one that's just for like be right back? That's the old text there. That's 3.6. What the hell? I don't have one. Let's just edit this text from when I did the Terminator stream real quick. Okay. That's not the one. Gosh dang it. Whatever. I don't know what text that is, but yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. So we're done with that. Yeah, that was crazy. I was actually, while I was using the bathroom, I was like, hey, I'll just look up the history of daylight savings time, because obviously, if you didn't know, that's going to be happening this morning, this upcoming morning tomorrow at 2 a.m., where the clock is going to move forward an hour. So it's going to go straight from 2 to 3 a.m. So we're all going to be losing an hour. I looked into it, see what that was all about. And I didn't know this. I thought this was like some kind of farming related shit or something like that, because, that's what kind of made sense to me. But it turns out it was introduced originally during World War I in 1918 in order to conserve energy and fuel, which I have no idea how that would work. But I guess the idea, I don't know. I have no freaking clue, but that's apparently the reason. That is apparently the reason. And, like, it was repealed after World War I, so they only did it for like the year, but then they brought it back, and then eventually it became more or less a permanent thing in 1966, whenever they introduced, what was the name of that freaking bill? Where I just was looking at it there. The Uniform Time Act. So, anybody in Congress, you, Tony, if you get elected, I need you to make a bill on the floor of the House to repeal the Uniform Time Act of 1966. We just need one set time, just like Arizona does, because Arizona's got it right. Every state does something right. Another thing I would like is if every state did like Nebraska and Maine and would do like their electoral votes based on whoever wins the votes in that specific voting district. That would be cool, because I don't really like the whole winner take all system personally. It's given us a lot of nonsense. Ben Franklin wanted it back in the day. Yeah, I can see that. Maybe that's where I was getting the farming thing from, because like obviously, if I'm not mistaken, the Farmer's Almanac, the original one or whatever, I think Ben Franklin wasn't involved with that in some fashion or other, if I remember right. And again, it does make sense from an agricultural standpoint. That's why I thought it was, but apparently that's not the case from what I read. So that's kind of weird. but yeah. So I need you. Obviously, your name's not Tony. I know who you are. But I'm just going by your YouTube username here. You need to introduce that bill to the House. You need to draft their legislation. I'll write it for you. Tourism is better. People get outside more. Okay. So I don't have a yes vote from you. Okay, that's fine. I'll still vote for you, but somebody's going to do it. If you're not going to do it, I'll write somebody else to be like, you're not in my district, but I need you to like draft this bill so we can just have one time, because like most people don't like it. Yeah, great. Yeah, people get outside more. Yep, I get it. That's cool. But yeah, anyways, cheers to that nonetheless. Things will go as they go. Change will come when we are ready for it, I suppose. And well, I guess more importantly, when everybody's ready for it. You got to have like that. It seems like for like certain issues, you have to have like at least 90% support before like people in Congress are like, yeah, I guess it's time to do that. I'm going to push uncapping the House, though. Okay. That sounds pretty interesting. Not sure what you mean by uncapping. But you're more into that stuff than I am, obviously. So I'll leave you to that for sure. So let's see what else we could play. Potentially, I might throw something retro on here. I was actually recently playing the Cowabunga collection. It's all the old Ninja Turtles games. And the great thing about this is you can use emulator save states on this, as well as like rewind and stuff like that. So I have achievements for beating the original Ninja Turtles, Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, and Turtles Manhattan Project. Check out Mr. Beat. Mr. Beat. Do you mean Mr. Beast? Or is there a Mr. Beat? Let's look that up real quick here. I'm sure there is. Mr. Beat. Mr. Beat. I am Mr. Beat. Okay. I see this here. My congressman won't respond to me, so I'm endorsing his opponent. Okay. I see Colin McRoberts. I'm not sure. Okay. This guy's got a pretty big channel. He does a lot of political content. Okay, interesting. Very cool. Very cool. I'll have to take a look at that guy. That name's probably a little unfortunate because, like, well, I mean, obviously he has 1.36 million subscribers, so I guess he probably doesn't have a hard time finding his audience. Oh, he's trying to get a movement to uncap the House. Oh, so this is probably like the video you're talking about right here. The problem with 435 representatives in the U.S. House. Yeah, because I understand that that's been like a thing for a while, right? Where I forget exactly when it was, but we used to add more representatives as the population grew and all that good stuff, and then they stopped at some point. And yeah, so that makes sense. Yeah, because it seems like that could be an issue, especially if you get a state. I don't know how they base that on. They probably base it on like the population of Wyoming, right? Because that is the lowest population state, if I'm not mistaken. So they only have just the one representative, right? No, that's kind of weird. Yeah, there is a lot of stuff with the population stuff from what I understand, because like they have to count total population like from the census. So that includes anybody that is living in the state that's not a US citizen, from what I understand. I might be wrong about that. But yeah, I was going to say, let's not make this a political thing, but yes, Tony Slow 2112, he is running. His name is, I assume you're okay with me doxing you here. Just a name, obviously. Clayton Christopher Harbison. He is going to be running for the U.S. House District 8 for the state of Missouri. Going to be running against my current House representative, Jason Smith. There's a bunch of other people running in that race as well, from what I understand. So it's going to be, obviously, I'm not sure if any other Republicans are running against Jason. But I know there's a few people that are running as Democrats to do the primary. So, you know, obviously I'm going to be back in Jason. I'm going to be back in Jason. No, not at all. I'll be back in Clayton. Because I know him, for one. And for two, you know, well, I pretty much that is the reason mainly. But two, I guess because I like him. You know, I like him. I like his philosophy, whatever. But yeah, we're going to leave it at that. But I'll definitely check out this Mr. Beat dude. I will actually add this to my playlist so I can watch the video later. Yep, we'll check that out for sure. Yeah. Yeah, usually like when you have an incumbent, it's not common for there to be people primarying against them. I mean, you'll see that sometimes, but they usually won't get a lot of support generally. You know, there's exceptions to that, of course. But yeah, let's see here. Oh, Junkie Cheese is streaming. Hey, let's just see what Drunky Cheese is up to here. Hopefully it doesn't say anything crazy.
She threw the penis.
Oh, yeah, we gotta stop with that. He already dropped the dick references there. No, he's great, but no, I want to keep this a little more kosher here. You know, a little more kosher. So yeah, we'll do that. Let's see what TTBN Gaming is up to here.
I need behavioral therapy with
yeah, he's a good channel to watch.
Oh, so that's why we get along so well. Shit.
He does a lot of these commentary things. I don't really watch his streams. Like, this is the first time I actually click on his stream, though.
That's sick, man. I'm a fucking designer in marketing. Like, it's fucking. Bleh.
Yeah, I can tell by.
Seems like he always streams on Saturdays.
On my thumbnails.
Bro,
like, the readability on this is kind of rough. You probably use words that.
I want to do like a thumbnail design review video at some point. I think that'd be so fun.
New lore drop. Yeah, I've been slowly drip feeding information to my audience. They know that I graduated.
Okay. See if anybody else is live right now. Oh, Noah's Alex, which is funny because I heard that Noah's Alex and TTPN have like a little bit of a beef right now against each other for some reason, because I think he was like commenting on something he did, and I don't know. I have no idea what that drama is even about. You know, I don't really care. But he has been a little weird lately. He always is in a banana suit when he does his streams. I don't know what that's about. Let's check it out though.
Boom.
You non-smart person.
Okay. Not sure what's going on here.
What's up, Monarch? I'm doing good, man. Thanks. Lore building. Chat, this entire stream is lore building, Alex. You gotta know.
You non-smart person.
Should I lower the volume or raise it?
I don't even see any of these people he's talking to in the stream here, in the chat. I don't see a Alex or a Marmic. I wonder if his stream is delayed versus the chat or something.
Perfect.
That might be why I'm seeing that.
It does not benefit you.
Of course
to
not.
have to subscribe
of
to
course.
multiple subscription services.
Oh, okay. And funny enough, his thing was green screening his cup. That's kind of funny. That's something that's really aggravating, messing with the green screen stuff. It's one of the banana people from that Courage episode. Courage. Oh, like Courage, the cowardly dog you're talking about? All right, I'm going to crash. Been a hard day, but we need chat soon. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Definitely. I don't know if you remember that thing I mentioned about having that Wish You Were Here town hall for Jason, since he's never had one. You should do that. And thank you very much for the happy birthday wish. Appreciate it. Yep. Definitely. Yeah, we should talk about that, though. Okay. So let's see if anybody else is live currently. How can I find just... I see that they have this most relevant. They don't have it set up in the same way that mobile is here. Replay Bill is streaming. I like Replay Bill, but I don't care that much about action figure stuff, but we'll see what he's talking about here. He does a lot of stuff like action figures and that kind of stuff.
Concerned. It does have me worried, because if they screw this movie up, if this is two
okay, he's talking about the Lanterns movie.
Green Lantern movies that fail, I don't know if we come back from that. Like, I really don't. That's probably another decade of being like, don't put Green Lantern in stuff. It doesn't work. And I really don't want that. Bill, maybe that book should have been a poster.
Yeah. I would love to be able to do streams like that, you know, like have enough activity that I can get kind of like a back and forth. You know, I guess that's one reason I do the gameplay stuff, is so that way I'm at least kind of like engaging with something on a regular basis like that. Trekker John was just, oh, that's 12 hours. Why is that showing up as, man, this is one reason why I always watch YouTube on my phone most of the time. It's honestly, Google focuses a lot more on the mobile app than they do on the actual desktop app, which is unfortunate. But it's almost like they kind of do that on purpose. You know, I watch a lot of news stuff and whatnot too, but gaming content, of course. So I've got kind of a really weird algorithm when it comes to YouTube. And every once in a while, I even get into some other stuff. I like watching food related content as well. I watch Mr. Bet on You. He does gig work stuff because I do gig work. So it's kind of fun to catch up with that. Some movie stuff as well. You know, of course, shout out to Max, of course. And then his buddy, what is his name? Shit, I forget his name. I mean, it says Kingdom Nerds, but he's got his fucking name. I forget what it is. But yeah, I watch that kind of stuff as well. You know, I watch YouTube a ass ton. I really do. Ton of YouTube for sure. And there's a lot of channels that unfortunately don't get a chance to watch a lot. I mean, I will be brutally honest, and that's probably why a lot of people don't watch me that are subscribed, of course, is because it's not that interesting to me at all times. But there is sometimes where it's like, okay, this is something that I definitely need to see. And, you know, so I'll definitely pop in for those just because there's just such a massive wealth of content on YouTube at this point. I mean, we're talking about probably... It would not surprise me if there are billions of videos on YouTube at this point. I mean, for one, there is the fact that we have billions of people on the planet. Most of them aren't going to be uploading videos on YouTube, but the ones that do probably upload a lot of videos. You know, definitely enough to make up for the rest of the population. You know, just my channel alone, I think I have like, I guess we could take a look at it real quick here. See what the actual stats say. I don't know if it actually gives a full number. I probably have to go to the actual YouTube creator thing to look at that. YouTube Studio. Maybe that'll give me an actual countdown of that. Go to videos. Okay. 627 videos that are listed there. That's for videos. I do a lot of shorts as well. The shorts are just going to be clips of other videos that I've done, which I do need to start doing that, of course. And then live streams. I've done a lot of live streams, 527 according to this. Some of those might have been like quickie little things, or might have to like reconnect and it counts it as a completely different stream. Of course, I did a lot of streams for Resident Evil recently. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Resident Evil streams that I did, building up to Resident Evil Requiem, which has been absolutely amazing. I've absolutely loved playing the shit out of Resident Evil Requiem, and I've had a lot of fun with it. And I'm currently working on my second playthrough, trying to accomplish some different things. You know, I actually lowered the difficulty setting on the second playthrough because I'm trying to accomplish some things that would be easier to do on a lower difficulty setting, such as completing the game at a quicker time. There's an achievement involved for beating the game in under 4 hours, which I'm like, how the hell do you do that? Because it took me 11 hours to beat it the first time. But then again, I was nitpicking every single little detail, trying to explore everything possible. So that takes a lot of time, of course. And generally playing a little bit slower than you have to in order to do that, obviously. And of course, you know, having to figure out different puzzles and things like that, that takes time, you know, looking through the different files you pick up and stuff like that. That's all going to add up to the playtime. And so one thing that is really nice whenever you get a successful playthrough of the game is any files that you had picked up from the previous playthrough are going to be stored into your inventory. So say you find a file that tells you the location of a safe code, you can just, well, open up that file and look up the safe code. You don't have to look for that file specifically to get the safe code because you'll already have access to that. So that kind of stuff does legitimately speed up the playthrough, let you go through things a lot quicker. And that's pretty cool shit, in my opinion. I do feel like playing some Resident Evil, but I don't want to play Requiem right now. I want to play something that's very casual. So we're going to pop on some Resident Evil 4, the remake. I want to go ahead and play some of the Mercenaries mode. We'll play around in Mercenaries. I think that sounds pretty fun. Shit. What is the... It always fucking does this for some reason. That's not it. Okay. So 1 second here. Wait, hold on. What did they say to do? Okay. Finally figured that shit out. So now we'll just have to switch the input of the gameplay here. There we go. Should pop up in here in a second. So, for whatever freaking reason, this game has a very specific tendency to not launch on my gaming monitor that I have here, but it launches on the other monitor, which, I mean, I guess that's okay. But with the way I have my streaming setup established, it doesn't really work. So, you know. Okay, I really haven't messed with the mercenary stuff that much, but we'll just fuck around with it. I just feel like playing a little RA type of stuff. Something nice and arcadey, you know. I really hope Requiem gets an update to add mercenaries to it, because like with the new gameplay they have with Leon specifically with the action gameplay, man, it is fucking killer. Absolute fucking beauty. Oh yeah, the guy's firebombing me from above there. I'll have to go around. Okay. Oh shit. Let's get up there and take him out. It's so weird, like, this actually feels kind of slow compared to Resident Evil 9. Yeah, it's getting that melee attack in. There we go. Perfect. Oh, darn it. I thought he was close enough to do that. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Reload the gun. Climb up the ladder. Why is he not meleeing him? Oh, he actually missed. What the heck? There we go. Add the time. There we go. Perfect. Why does the gameplay feel so slow? It's weird. I don't know why. It doesn't seem like it should be this slow. I don't know. That's weird, though. Wonder if I have something enabled that slows it down. Because, like, the frame rate's definitely good. Like, that's actually pretty good. Let's see. I'm almost dead, actually. Perfect. That worked out pretty nice. Oh, shit. I thought that was going to stun him. Do the Mayhem Moan, whatever that is. And then I miss every shot. Oh, okay, I see. It makes it like one hit kill pretty much. That's cool. Oh, shit! Wait, is that... Oh, shit. He's still coming at me. Yeah, take some melee hit. There you go. Perfect. That'll work. Oh, I'm dead. Whew. I had plenty of time. It's so weird, the pace of that. That doesn't seem right. I kind of want to go back to the regular game real quick just to see. That felt just so, like, weird. It might be on purpose, but it just felt so slow compared to, like, what I remember it feeling like. This is taken off from where I started here.
Let's get the hell out of here.
I don't know, maybe that's just how this game is, though.
Get the ladder.
Which still feels better than... Yeah, okay. Yeah, that is normal. So maybe that's just how it is. It is so much more fast-paced on Requiem. It's insane, honestly. It'll take me a little bit to get used to this, obviously. But I could do the island now. Oh, yeah, I got all the different weapons I could totally use. I just used the handgun the whole time on that one. Yeah, start with the stealth kill right off the bat. That's gonna be good. Oh shit. Yeah, come on, guys. That'll work. Oh, never mind. Let's get past him real quick. Yep, gotta do that before he changes. Freaking spiders, of course. Or scorpions, whatever they are. Oh, shit. They're parasites, of course. I know that. Oh, bitch. Come on, guys. Get to the barrel. Get to the barrel. There we go. That'll work. Wrong gun. Get off of me. There we go. What happened to the gun? There we go. Ooh, that sucks. Oh! Really hit me from that range, dude? Come on. Alright, let's get down here. There we go. Now we're turning around. I think there's a guy behind me. He's got to move. Gotta get. Pick up the time bonus there. Oh shit, I'm trapped here, ain't I? Ooh, got a 2-for-1 there. Is there a guy behind me? Oh, there's a ladder here. Okay, I can climb this. Thought I was trapped there for a second. Go. Perfect. Pick up some loot. Okay, time bonus. Feel like there's something. Okay, yep, there's that guy right there. Boom. Perfect. Oh, shit. Oh, what the hell? Where did that come from? Oh, shit. There he is. Oh, yeah. Wow, that sucks. Damn. Yeah, I used to play the shit out of Mercenaries on the original game. I'll have to definitely play a lot more because I only have just the 2 characters. You know, you have to get certain metrics and whatnot to unlock the rest of them. Yep. Yep, had to keep the combo alive. They just weren't dying from the shots. Ah, crap. Where did that even come from? Dang it. Get... Oh, yeah, I gotta get moving here. Oh, I shot the dude behind him. I was trying to shoot you, dude. There we go. Oh, there's freaking bug thing. Yep. Blow that thing up. Of course. Bastard. Crap. There we go. Let's run up here. I thought I killed him. There we go. Come on, get rid of him. Oh shit, chainsaw guy. He's coming. Oh shit. Damn. Holy crap. I guess I don't get the score because the combo didn't end technically. Ouch, that sucks. Whew. Yeah. I definitely need to get some more practice with that, but that's probably something I'll work on later on. Let's try the village one more time. See if I can beat my time on the village at least. You know what? Can I play as Ada? Don't know if I played with her yet. We'll try her out. And then we'll probably call it after that. Dang it. There we go. Oh, that's cool if she could do that. That's pretty sweet. There you go. Get to him. Yep. There we go. Good. Don't want them to convert. There we go. Perfect. Ooh. Barely missed that. What other weapons should she have? Shotgun? Perfect. That'll do just fine. Pop in here. Bust in here. Yeah, gotta keep that combo alive. And getting the headshots will give you a time bonus, looks like. You get less time bonus in Mayhem mode. That's interesting. I guess because you get more points, so it's kind of balances out the gameplay aesthetic of that. Oof. That sucks. Crap. Shoot him. Quick. Keep that combo alive. Oh, yeah. Gotta get him before he converts. There we go. Oh, that was a nice shot. Don't think I did that on purpose, but that's okay. Oh, no, it's triggering that noise because of like a boss of some kind coming up. Oh, darn it. Well, that's it. Whew. Okay, that was my best performance yet on that. My score was 92,000 before, so pretty cool. Very cool. Oh, wait, I got Wesker. Nice. That's something I can look forward to. Yeah, sure, whatever. I don't care. People can see how bad my score is in Mercenaries. That's fine with me. That was my first A, so I guess that's cool. Okay. But, yeah, just want to thank you all that stopped in and anybody that checked out the replay, and then anybody, I guess, that, you know, didn't, for whatever reason that could be. You know, hopefully you guys have had a good night and good day or whatever time you're watching this. And I do appreciate you. I do appreciate all the new channel members. Big thanks, of course, to Super Mega Graphics 64 for making that possible. I kind of begged him a little bit because I was like, I have all this money in YouTube AdSense and like I just can't get it because like my channel's not at the ad revenue level yet. And I literally need just a couple of bucks to get a YouTube payout. And so he really came in clutch there. And, hopefully anybody that is a member now as a result, you'll get that notice, of course, from YouTube. I don't know exactly how that looks. So I don't think I ever got just a random channel membership awarded to me before. I don't know why YouTube does it the way they do it. They should do it to people that are actively watching the stream. That would make the most sense. And then if there's not enough people, then it should just award it to people that historically watch your channel. Maybe these people do watch my channel and they just don't comment, and that's cool. That's fine. I would appreciate comments though, because that is one thing I like to look at. I like to read the comments, and I try to respond to a lot of them, of course. I'm not responding to every single comment, but I do appreciate the commentary, and that's all there is to it, right? That's all there is to it, guys. But I'll be putting out regular content again soon. I just kind of took a little bit of a break from what I was doing, but I will be getting back to that very soon. And appreciate, of course, Tony Sloan, Lich Azel, Super Mega Graphics 64 that popped in. Also appreciate the Potion Stored, Metal Torso Gaming, Albo Army popped in as well on the stream. You guys are cool. But that's going to be it for tonight, I think. Because of the whole stupid daylight savings time thing, I have to go to bed a little earlier so I can be on my normal schedule. So thanks for that, Uncle Sam. But that's going to be it, guys. That's going to be the last